drugs has been going on. The modern day war on drugs has occurred since the early 1970s. There was a more minimal war prior to that, but prior to 1912, there was no war on drugs, and a lot of people survived, even in those years. So they could go out and buy whatever they wanted. But the war on drugs is very, very dangerous. But the war on drugs is, matter of fact, drugs are very, very dangerous. But the war on drugs, I think, is more dangerous than the drugs themselves. I do want to make a very strong point, both as a physician, as a parent, and as a grandparent. All drugs are dangerous. Illegal drugs are dangerous. The war on drugs are dangerous, but prescription drugs are very dangerous as well. But certainly, if we would follow the rules about giving more prerogatives to the states, some states now are just making token efforts to say that people who smoke marijuana for medical reasons should be allowed to. A few states have passed laws that way. And what happens? We have the heavy hand of the federal government come down, they undo this whole principle of states' rights and say that we will tell you what you can do. And our federal government has been known to arrest sick people in wheelchairs, individuals who are getting benefits from marijuana, and putting them in prison. That makes no sense whatsoever. But the real harm done by the war on drugs, and we can't dismiss the fact that drugs are very dangerous, but the real danger is the undermining of our personal civil liberties, because that is used as an excuse to invade our homes without search warrants. It's gotten much worse with this other law that was passed after 9/11, and that is called the Patriot Act, which should be repealed. The Patriot Act, as I've said in the debates, is very unpatriotic. The Patriot Act was passed, and that bill was floating around for a long time, and that was an opportunity to pass it and get a bill out there that they wanted to pass all along. But if they would have called that bill repeal the Fourth Amendment Act, maybe it wouldn't have passed. And I'm sure you know that if you see a bill and you see the name on a bill going through the Congress, the name is almost always opposite of what it's going to end up doing. It's a very bad piece of legislation. So I think next year, when we get this opportunity to change some of these things, we should call it... We shouldn't call it repeal the Patriot Act. What we should do is let's restore the Fourth Amendment Act.
Restore the Fourth Amendment Act. Yeah.
It is the Patriot Act that gets covered too many times. These SWAT teams had been coming into our homes and into our apartments, breaking in without proper search warrants. Now they can do it wholesale. And lo and behold, I imagine you have heard, there's a few occasions when they actually go into the wrong homes, and they've actually killed the wrong people. They shouldn't even be doing it, but it is out of control. They'll march into our homes without the proper authority, and the Fourth Amendment was supposed to guarantee that we would not be invaded by our government without a proper search warrant. Those individuals that are supposed to be protecting us, our airports, but what do? They prod and poke and x-ray us without any proper permission either. Right. So someday we can think of a better way to protect us at the airports without the TSA. ago, the president sent somebody over to the Senate, and he announced a new policy. And the new policy was that the president, under his understanding, as being the commander-in-chief, he could assassinate American citizens. Now, he explained it constitutionally. He said that he's the commander-in-chief. And if it's not prohibited in the Constitution, he's allowed to do anything he wants. I think he has it flipped around a little bit. He's supposed to be able to do only the things that he has the explicit authority to do, not the other way around. So he went and proved his point. He's already now assassinated 3 Americans. Well, the first one, Alaki, probably a bad guy, even though they never made any charges. They never had a trial. They never said he did anything. But he probably was associated with some bad actors. He wasn't in this country, so they said, we're going to go after him. And with a drone missile, they killed him. So he had no due process. But they said that another family member was an associated force, associated with him, so therefore he was guilty too. So the next week, they assassinated him. But it turned out he was 16 years old, barbecuing in the backyard with his cousin. I don't think that's what America is supposed to be all about at all. I think we have to have more respect for civil liberties in this country. The president's taking too much power. The Congress encourages the president. They've done it, with the war on drugs. And also, just as in December, they passed a bill, the National Defense Authorization Act. And it's obvious that you know a little bit about that. I'm always impressed by that. Because I know you didn't hear about it on the evening news.
Exactly.
Under that bill, the Congress gave the president the authority to arrest any American citizen who is an associated force. Maybe website, attending a meeting, handing emails, or whatever. Just be loosely associated with somebody, you can be charged. But arrested by the military, which violates posse comitatus, that's essentially been repealed. And you can be arrested, denied an attorney, denied charges, denied a trial, and put in a secret prison indefinitely. And that's what the law says. If we want to live in a republic, we can't allow this stuff to stay on the books. We gotta stand up and say, enough is enough. We need to change this and quit doing this to you.
Enough is enough! 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 Enough is enough!
I've been talking about these issues for a long time, and in the last 4 or 5 years, the country has become alive with this because of the great concern about our debt and our foreign policy and our civil liberties. But the great thing is that there are certain groups coming together right now who are really standing up for these values. One is a group of people who have known about these views for a long time, have felt frustrated, they've sort of dropped out, discussed it with both parties, and maybe never voted again, but now they're coming in and they're getting excited about a different view on government. But also, there's a young group of people now graduating into the adulthood who now, in the college age group, are enthusiastic about these views. That's what gets me excited.